Hi, my name is John. Welcome to the second part of this Sunday's nightcap. A special thanks to Emmy for introducing part one. It's always nice to see you, always nice to have her in the shop, and she always manages to cheer me up. Emmy is right in saying that next weekend, or this weekend coming, I'll be at Flukeborough Steam Rally, the Cumbrian Rally at Grange of our Sands. If you're there, please come and say hello. It'd be great to shake your hand. The weekend after, I'm at a steam rally at Gloucester with my friend Rob from Extreme Plasma. I'm hoping to see a lot of engines down there that I haven't seen before. And then the end of August, I'm at the Shrewsbury Steam Rally, which is the home of the Sentinel Owners Club. And as you well know, I do like Sentinel steam wagons. I'm actually there for, I think it's 4 days. And then we're going to go across to Scampston Steam Rally with the 2 Sentinel S-type wagons. And I'm going to be there for, I think it's 3 days as well. I'm going to take the caravan down, so it'll be a little bit of like a holiday for the wife, I suppose. I'll certainly enjoy it anyway. Right, the second part of the nightcap, I finish off the blanking plug for the Sentinel steam wagon, the one we machined the hex on in part one. I make some copper washers, and I also put some holes in for some lock wire to prevent them from coming loose. And then I repair a little brass tap, or modify a little brass tap, which is also for a Sentinel steam wagon. I've got one more job to do on these before it's actually finished. In fact, I've got to do all 4 of them. The original plug actually come loose and I lost it. That's why I made a new one. So what the idea is to drill a hole in there and drill a hole in there so they meet. Then I can put some lock wire through to lock them all together. I could drill right through. I could try and drill through at an angle through there. Don't like that. I think straight down, then into there, and that should do the job quite nicely. Probably a 3 or a 4 mil drill. It doesn't need to be that big. The lock wire is really fine. Stainless steel lock wire. And I've got the plug up against that shoulder, so everyone's going to be drilled in the same place that way. Probably go down for maybe 6 mil and then into there. A nice sharp 3.5 mil drill that should do the job quite nicely. I'm just going to eyeball this to be where I want it, which is about there. I'll have to run this fairly fast. It should go in without a pilot hole. It should just go straight through there. I'm going to speed it up 1 gear. It's better. Little bit of green stuff. I'm going to go down for 5 mil. That should be enough. In fact, we'll make it 6. Right, that's 6 mil. I'll drill each one exactly the same, and then we'll put the hole in there. Right, we need to line up the holes now, and that looks excellent. Put a little bottle of green stuff down somewhere, I can't find it. Again, once this job's done, it's a tidy up time for John, I think. Right, so we'll get rid of the lock wire and see if we can feed it through there. I've got a big massive roll of this stuff. My friend Phil gave us it, and he says he can have it lying around your workshop instead of lying around my workshop. It's we might pick it up. Unfortunately, I'm going to be thinking of Phil, or fortunately, right, so that's not a problem. That's all it needs to lock them together. Happy with that. I'm just going to knock the rags off the end of the holes, make it look like somebody cares. And I'm going to use my dad's hand drill. I use this all the time, it's ideal for this sort of thing. And every time I pick it up, I remember my dad. The easiest way for me to make a copper washer is to cut it out of 3mm copper plate using a plasma cutter. Obviously cuts the hole out first, otherwise there'll be nothing left to cut. Makes a really neat job. It also needles the washer at the same time. The nasty fuse come off this stuff, you're really careful. You do get a little bit of dross, which basically just takes off like that. All the washer needs is the inside, very lightly filing, just to take the little edge off. And copper is horrible stuff to machine, and I think when I'm cutting it with plasma, this is 3mm, so I set the machine to cut 6mm steel, and it cuts it quite nicely, because obviously the copper takes the heat away very quickly indeed. Quite happy with that, nice round washer. Nothing at all the matter with that, very happy, very happy. This little brass tap or little brass cock has been sent to us, and what the lad wants is me to silver solder that into there. It keeps coming loose seemingly. Obviously I have to clean all the crap and shite of it. That looks like steel, that's brass. We'll have to strip the little valve first, take the nut off, take it apart, otherwise the heat will damage that little spring. Not the little spring's not doing much anyway, and the valve's actually loose, so then we'll be spending a little bit of time lapping it in and tightening it back up once you get it apart, once you get it soldered. Wire wheel's the tool to clean all that crap off there with. Little Baco adjustable there, a really nice bit of kit, 4-inch, had it a long time. There it is, John. Right, so we've got a, I think they call them Thackeray washers. This spring, what I used to them on carburetors and wevers to keep the, so the carbs could float. There's a little key in the bottom, little locking plate, and that's how it works. Simple, little brass top. Never changed for years, and they just work. Right, we're going to get this cleaned up, and so we can get that silver soldered into there. I've cleaned all the crap off it. This is easy flow flux, silver soldering flux, a little bit of that onto there. Screw the fitting in, more flux in there. Tighten that into there with something suitable. That nail looks suitable. Right, now to silver solder it. I should be able to get enough heat out of this little propane torch. If not, I have got oxypropane. flux is melting. I think I'm a little bit under heat here. Not enough heat to use. Right, we'll put some real heat onto it. Right, we'll try down a little bit more heat. A lot more heat. Be careful, it will do it melt the brass. You know, you bring up the temperature, all of a sudden it'll just go. It's not doing what I want it to do. It's not really long now, that's the way now, that's the way now. Right, that's it, all the way around. Not the neatest soldering job, but I can guarantee that bastard will not leak. That's soldered nicely. I'm going to put a little bit of cutting paste on there and just lap the valve in before I put it all back together. Which is just the stuff you use on car engine valves. Well, you used to. I think as much of that goes on now, to tell you the truth. All I'm looking for is a nice matte finish on the valve and on the hole, tapered hole. Which is like that, it's the same colour all the way down, there's no bits where it's missing. And that looks nice as well. Perhaps a little bit more, there's a little bit at the top where it's not quite touching. But saying that, it doesn't matter because the bottom is the part that's got the seal. So we'll just leave that at that. Now you can see that it's touching down the bottom, but it's not quite touching as hard at the top. That'll be alright. Right, we'll put it back together. A little bit of this high temperature assembly compound. Certainly won't do any harm. Take a real high temperature grease. Use it on studs, on turbochargers. It really is good gear. Stands any sort of temperatures that this is going to be subject to. Trouble is, it's messy stuff. If it's not messy, it's not good. Right, and the little washer, which has been crushed actually, it wants spreading out a bit so it works like a factory washer again. Right, all I've done is open up the little coils on the washer. The little plate goes on there, making sure it's the right way. You can see what they're doing now. Right, so that's shut, that's open, simple as that. And that should now work properly. Right, so that's taken all the play off it. Much better, proper job. The nut's quite tight because the head of that's been sprayed out to make it tight. But that's nice, happy with that. That's quarter BSP and the original valve was 1/8. Once again, just tend to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and massive thanks for all the well wishes that have been coming in. It really has made a massive difference. As I keep on saying, if you do sort of think you're suffering from some sort of depression or mental health, for Christ's sake, go and get some help. There's far too many lads bottle these things up with tragic consequences really. Anyway, thanks for watching.